Hi everyone, this is a tutorial about working stranded colourwork with 3 colours. I'm going to demonstrate here a couple of ways of holding the strands that I found work for me. And also in the comment box below, there are some links to other tutorials that with techniques that you may find suit you better. I think the main takeaway from this is really that if you're going from working with 2 colours to 3 colours, it's really about finding sort of a modified version of the way that you'd work with 2 colours and kind of adapt it to add in the 3rd colour, rather than trying to completely change the way that you work stranded colour work. So for me, because normally if I'm working with just 2 colours, I'd hold 1 colour in my left hand and 1 colour in my right hand, and I'd be knitting in this manner as and when I need the colours. For me, it makes sense to modify that by adding in that 3rd colour either to my left or my right hand. So if I'm going to hold 2 colours with my left hand, then what I find to work quite well is to anchor both the strands on my little finger by just wrapping them around like that, and then putting my first finger through the middle of the 2 strands. My other fingers go underneath both strands, and that gives me a bit of separation between the 2 colours, and the tension usually works out quite well. So here, if I'm working, I need to do 2 of this black, which I'm holding in my right hand, and then I need to do 1 stitch of my white. So I'm going to lift up my middle finger, which brings that white strand into view, so I can just pick it up and knit with it. So it's almost the same as if I was just working my stranded colourwork with 2 colours. The only difference is when I come to that stitch that requires that 3rd colour, I just lift up my middle finger and the strand pops into view and I can knit with it. So I've found that technique works really quite well. The other thing that I've tried as well is holding 2 colours over in my right hand. So that's 2 colours worked from this side, and what I'm doing here is I'm holding both strands in my 4th and 5th fingers and then separating these 2 strands with my first 2 fingers. And if in this case I'm knitting round like that with this colour, and this one I'm using my first finger and thumb and coming around like that, so that works quite well as well. But as I said, it really is a question of trying out different things and trying to modify your existing technique rather than change it dramatically and try to learn something completely new. One final thing I would say as well is I've heard of some people who really don't get on with stranded colourwork with more than 2 colours at a time, and what they do in that case is work around with 2 colours, slipping the stitch that would be knitted with the 3rd colour, and then work the round again, this time only working the 3rd colour. So I will show you what that looks like as well. Okay, so if you are someone who just really isn't getting on with working 3 colours at the same time, but you really like the effect of those 3 colours in combination with each other, then this is another option. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to work with my green and my black. So I need to do 2 stitches with black, 1 with green, 2 with black, and then this stitch here is going to be knit with the white. So for now I'm just going to slip that, and I carry on working my stranded colourwork with just 2 colours here. Each time you get to the stitch that should be knit with the white, which you don't have at the moment, you just slip it purlwise. So what you would do is you'd work the whole round in that way. So I'm going to do that now and then show you what you do next. Okay, so I've worked that round with my black and my green, and each time I come to a white stitch, I've just been slipping it. And now what I'm going to do is work that round again, but this time just working with the white yarn. So I'm going to be slipping the stitches that don't need to be white, and when I get to a white stitch, I will knit it. So that creates exactly the same effect as working the 3 colours at the same time, but you're only working one round with 2 colours and then the same round again with the 3rd colour. Now, the obvious downside to this is that it's going to be slower because you're working the rounds that have 3 colours in them twice. But if you are just really struggling with holding 3 yarns at the same time and getting your tension consistent, then this is a good option as an alternative. Okay, and as far as knitting with 3 colours in general goes, I think the only other thing I would say is just be patient with yourself, because this technique was new to me really just a month or 2 ago, and at first it feels awkward and a bit slow, but as with most other things, practice makes perfect. So it's worth persevering with, because you can get some really beautiful colourwork effects by adding in that 3rd colour. All right, I hope that helps.